Hi guys, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy. It's been an interesting week, and it's going to be an interesting month, I think. I am getting paid to stay home from the library and to do some work from home, like continuing education, but I can't discharge books from home, and I can't reshelf books from home, which are my main jobs. So I've got a lot more free time on my hands, and so I thought I would make a list of my favorite resources for finding books online. If you can still support your local independent bookstores and comic book shops, do that first. They're going to be struggling. Their sales are going to go down. We need to help as much as we can. They still need to pay rent, utilities, they got to pay their workers. So if you can do that, that's first. Call them, go on their websites, follow them on social media, see if they're still taking orders. Some of them are shipping, some of them are doing like curbside pickup where they'll get the order ready, and if you pay in line, they'll just have it and bring it out to you, and that's all the interaction you need to do. So that would be first. Same with independent artists and publishers. If there's like an independent comic book that you like, make sure you're ordering that online. And there's actually a BuzzFeed news article in my link below about how to help your local comic book shop. But basically, indiebound.org and bookshop.org are going to be the best for finding local bookstores and ordering from them. And libro.fm, which is an audiobook store, so digital audiobooks. So you can order them from there, and they will give the sales to your local bookshop. And then comicshoplocator.com will tell you where there are local comic book shops in your area. So from there, you'll be able to find their websites and like see what they're up to. So if you're financially able and if your area is still doing any of these services, do that first. And all these websites that I'm talking about will be down in the description below with their links. So definitely check them out. Also, my computer is not sophisticated enough to do video capture, apparently. So these are all screen captures of these websites. Definitely go check them out and like fiddle around with them and root around in them. And when I'm talking about the subscription services, a lot of these have like 30-day free trials. So as somebody who works in public libraries, my suggestion is to go to your local library's websites. See if your public library, if your school library, if they have digital offerings. Most libraries do. And I'm going to go over the 3 main ones that the libraries in my area use, that my public library uses, and the kind of things that are offered, but also check out what your library has. But also check out what your library is offering. You can also go routing through different databases, doing some research, go to Ancestry.com. Lynda.com is a good one if you want to learn new skills. I know Ohio libraries, I think all of them have Lynda.com now and Ancestry.com available from the home. And this is all of March 2020, by the way. Some of this may change in the future, but for right now. So the big one that I use is overdrive.com and its app Libby, which is for the phone. And this one has tons of different e-media. So ebooks, audiobooks, magazines, comics, videos are all on Overdrive. Some of them might not be accessible through the app. Like, I don't know if you can watch the videos on the app. I've never tried that. But like, play around with it and see what they have to offer. I also like the fact that Overdrive has curated collections too. So if you're looking for romances or themed ones around a holiday, that's also a really awesome resource. There's one on here for like own voices. So if you want curated like library, like this is probably the website that is the most like actually going to a physical library, but doing it all online. And you can borrow them. And then you just, you borrow them, you check them out. You can read them on your phone. There are Kindle ones that you can have sent to your Kindle device. It's also easy to use to download audiobooks and listen to them on my phone and take that with me while I'm commuting or walking or doing the dishes or whatever. And then, like I said, there's also videos, magazines, and they also have comics. So all of that's on Libby. It's probably the best. The next one that I sometimes use is hoopla.com, but it has a limit of how many checkouts you can have for a month. So Overdrive, at least for my library, allows 20 checkouts at a time. So if you return something, you can check something else out. Hoopla has a 10 checkouts per month total limit for my library. So it's useful if you're downloading, if you're trying to use books and magazines and you just want 10 items. It's not so useful when I'm trying to watch television shows and every single episode counts as an individual checkout, so you can only watch 10 episodes a month. But Hoopla is similar to Overdrive. You check them out for the 3 weeks or whatever the loan period is. They have audiobooks, movies, music, comics, ebooks, and television shows. So lots of different options and things to like go explore in Hoopla. And then the other one that my library offers that I use is RB Digital. So my library does magazines and video services through it. So there's the great courses, which are like combinations of lectures with like supplemental materials, like a reading material, which is super useful. But our library also uses it for Acorn TV, which is British television and films, Indie Flicks, which is independent films, and Stingray QLO, which is concerts. So those are really cool things that you can also find. I know some libraries also have Canopy, which is like classic movies. So find out what your library offers and what services they're using it for. So my next category is going to be subscription services. So these are things that you pay for. A lot of them have 30-day trials if you want to test them out first. The best one, and the one that I've considered getting before, is Scribe.com. And by the way, I don't actually use any of these subscription services, but they are options, because usually I just use the library. But Scribed is a service that offers ebooks, audiobooks, as well as documents, including sheet music, which I thought was really cool. It's $10 a month, at least in the US, and you can use it on other like varying devices, and it's unlimited checkouts. So you're paying $10 a month and you can go through as many of those as you want. So I thought that that one is like the coolest, especially if you're a musician or you're trying to like learn stuff. Like the fact that they have sheet music is like the coolest thing to me. So it's a little bit different. Next up is Comixology.com. This is an Amazon company, but it allows you to read unlimited comics. So these are older comic issues. They're not going to be the most recent. I think for most companies it's like a year or older. But if you want to go back through the archives of Marvel or DC or independent comic book things, like I know Archie's on here. This one is $6 a month. There's also Kindle Unlimited, which is from Amazon, obviously. And this one allows you to read some of the Kindle books that they offer and just unlimited. But you can also find some really cool independent authors and people who have done independent publishing who offer their stuff up to Kindle Unlimited for like a test period or something. So maybe the first month the book is out, it might be free. And also just explore Kindle to find independent authors. So while Amazon probably doesn't need all our money, like independent authors do. So try checking that out too. The other Amazon company is Audible, which will allow you to do audiobooks. I'm not sure that Audible is like the best bang for your buck though, especially compared to Scribed. Because you're paying $15 a month for just one audiobook. And then there are discounts on other ones, but yeah. However, Audible does have free streaming right now for children's books. Audible Stories is audiobooks that you can stream. You can't download them, but from their website you can listen to as many children's books as you want. And so there's stuff that's in English, there's stuff in German, Spanish, French, so a few different languages. Also they're categorized by like age groups, and you can just search and see if they have that title. So if your kids are driving you crazy, or if you really like children's books in general, I love some good J-fiction and teen novels, that is another option. And then kind of piggybacking onto the spending money thing, Humble Bundle is also a really cool site to check out and is one of my favorites to see what they have on offer. It varies. Most bundles are offered for like 21 days at a time and then they're gone. But this allows you to get software, video games, books, comics, audiobooks, and they're grouped together. a publisher will offer their Doctor Who comics. And it'll be like the back comics. And they're also tiered. So, okay, the example I have is Tachyon Books, which is still available. So this is a publisher, and they've offered several different books. And depending on which tier you pay for, you get those books in that tier plus any that were below them. So, like, the cheapest one is the $1 or more, and you get these 7 books. The next tier, if you pay $8 or more, you get an additional these books. If you spend $15 or more, you also get all of the books that they're offering in that bundle. If you look at it, it'll tell you, like, what the formats are, especially the books tend to be in multi-formats, and comic books tend to be in multi-formats. So you can use them with any device. And once you buy the bundle, then you own those digital copies, which is really cool. So in the past, I've gotten all the My Little Pony comics, I've gotten Doctor Who comics, I've gotten big finished audios for the Doctor Who and Torchwood, Bloodshot comics. I think there's a Fairy Tale bundle right now for the manga, and I think the other one is Witchblade, which was not one that I was even remotely interested in, but check it out. That's a cool way to get books. It's also a cool way to get video games, or software. Like my video editing software, Vegas Pro, I got it as part of a humble bundle at one point. So that is worth checking out. Also, when you pay for the bundles, it gets split up. So part of it goes to the publisher or whoever is offering the bundle. Part of it goes to Humble Bundle to keep it running, and also part of it goes to a charity. And it'll list what charity it's going to for that bundle, which is really cool. Okay, and then moving back to free stuff. One of my favorites is Webtoon. So this is comics that are published specifically for Webtoon. And you can either read them in the browser or on your phone. My favorite is just having it on my phone when I get bored, just like reading comics. And there's just tons and tons of different types. So there's some that are in like more Asian art styles, some that are more American, just from all over the world, which is really cool. And there's also tons of different types. So some of them are fantasy, some of them are sci-fi, some of them are romance or like action or like detective stories. So just start browsing. If you like comics, there is probably a Webtoon comic you're gonna love. My favorites are Lore Olympus, and this one is a retelling or modernization of Persephone and Hades from Greek mythology, and how they met, and I love it. I love the art style on this one. It's definitely my favorite. And then also Nothing Special by Katie Cook, which is absolutely adorable. It's about Callie, who thinks she's like nothing special, except she's got this ability to talk to dead vegetables. And one of my favorite characters is Radish. It's this dead radish that just follows her around and sometimes enlists the help of other vegetables and plants to help her out. Part of it, at least in the first season, is set in like our world, and then part of it is set in this fantasy world with fairies and magic. Her dad has like a bookshop in the other realm, so if you want a magical bookshop also, like Nothing Special is really cool. Next up is Project Gutenberg, and this is a website that is dedicated to collecting books that are in the public domain and making them available. So if you look at a specific title, it'll have it in multiple different formats, so you can read it online in the browser, you can download it for Kindle, or on an EPUB, which will be open. Other programs. Wow, brain not working. But basically, if it's an older book, it's probably here. And it also does have some recommendations, like the top books that have been checked out recently. And like if you look at these ebooks, like you can get Pride and Prejudice, or Frankenstein, or Alice in Wonderland, The Importance of Being Earnest, The Tale of Two Cities, Little Women, like anything, all these classics are all available there. Which also leads us into LibriVox, which has books that are in the public domain, but they're audio recordings, so people have volunteered their audio readings. Some of them are more professional than others. Some of them are just one person reading. Some of them are like full cast recordings. So if you're looking for free audiobooks on these older books, I would check out LibriVox. This is actually like if I can't find it at the library and want to listen to it, I will go here and see if they have it. I also have the International Children's Digital Library. So this is a project where they are trying to accumulate public domain books, but specifically of children's books and specifically in other languages. So there's English, but also if you're looking for more obscure titles, if you're looking for something in Nepali or Japanese or, you know, Spanish, like all of that is in here. Some of it is public domain and just anybody can read it because they're older books. Some of them have been volunteered by the people who own the copyright and are like, you can use it for this purpose of education. So it breaks it down by age ranges, it breaks it down by what type of book it is, and all the ones that I've encountered so far have been scans of the pages. So you can only read them at that website, and they're all scans, so it's not always the easiest thing to like navigate, and it can sometimes be slow. But I also think that's a really cool resource, especially if you are trying to learn another language or you have a child whose first language is not English. And then I've also got the Internet Archive, which tries to collect websites where you can get free books. And there's also, I think, Open Library, which takes a catalog of all the books that all libraries have, which I find somewhat less useful because you still need to be able to go to that library and check out. But Internet Archive will take you to these other websites like Project Gutenberg and LibriVox, and let you like mess around. So I thought that was like a cool, fun one to kind of explore. Some of the stuff that's on there, though, it claims that it's in the public domain, and some of it's not necessarily, so use at your own risk. I don't know how well it's curated. Okay, and then my last two options are for Storytimes online. So these are websites that offer video recordings of people reading children's books. And the two coolest ones are Storyline Online, which has both its own website and its own YouTube channel. And this is part of SAG, so the Screen Actors Guild. And it's a charity work where they have actors read children's books. So, if you want to listen to Arnie the Donut as read by Chris O'Dowd, or The Hula Hooping Queen read by Oprah Winfrey, this is the site for you. So if you want a celebrity reading a children's book, that's awesome. And then my last suggestion is Storytime from Space. It is astronauts on the International Space Station reading science, technology, engineering, math, STEM books, and it's awesome. So they'll do a segment, they'll start off be like, I'm in the International Space Station, this is what part we're on, explaining about being in space, but then also reading a science-based book, which is so cool. So that is definitely worth checking out too if you love space. It's space, guys. What could be cooler than that? This is by no means a complete list of all the places you can find books online, but these are some of the coolest ones that I thought of. I'm also going to post links down to the BuzzFeed article about helping your independent bookstores, and then most of these I got from Book Riot blog posts, and I'll link both of those down in the description below too if you want to look at some of the other ones. There were definitely more sites than these, but these were the ones that I used myself and that I thought were the coolest. Yeah, so post other suggestions of your favorite sites down in the comments too, and let's read. So, peace out, I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye!